International Affair with Boss Lady, my guy DJ Steele, and our very special guest Rico Love, celebrating the release of I Sin, out right now exclusively on datpiff.com for free. Solid body of work. I've been listening to your music, Rico, non-stop in preparation for today, and I wanted to do something with you called Dr. Love, because I feel like you say some very deep things, like we talked about. You observe a lot of what's going on in our culture on a very realistic level, and I think some people need some help, including myself and maybe DJ Steele. So we're about to go. It's called Dr. Love. I'm going to take some of your lyrics and then I'm going to ask you a question about it, and I want you to give some advice from the heart on what you think is maybe the best way to go. So let's start off with the latest single, He Got Money, featuring Future. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but the lyric is, if he said it, you know he ain't lying, and if he invite you, you know that he buying. Okay? My question to you is, does every girl you talk to, kick it with, automatically get gifts? How does that work?
Yeah, when I say if he invite, that's true. If I invite you on a shopping spree and I don't get you anything, then I'm pretty much being a dickhead, right? It's pretty selfish. I don't think that you should invite anybody to somewhere unless you're gonna offer it to them. If I say, hey, let's go to dinner, right? And then I don't pay for you to eat.
Oh no, yeah.
Let me get my. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So basically, I feel like if in certain instances you don't give everyone gifts, but you also wouldn't invite that person to a shopping spree unless you were gonna get them something. So I feel like you gotta earn that privilege, and I feel like we gotta start making people requiring more women than just being beautiful to receive gifts from us, because at the end of the day, there's so many of them that's beautiful, and if they realize that it took a little bit more substance to get something as opposed to just having a fat eyes and a pretty face, I promise you a lot of people will be focusing on more things that's important.
Do women act like that with you, that are built like that, or that feel that they're entitled?
Bitches do.
And you meet a lot of entitled
women. See, the definition of a woman and of a man is so different, and so when you dissect the true meaning of it, those type of people, they don't do those type of things. I feel like bitches do that shit, hoes do that shit, you know, groupie hoes do that shit. I feel like they get caught up in that. Well, you got money, I'm supposed to have it.
But even deeper than that, as a woman who considers myself a lady and a woman, some of my peers as women, and you've probably seen this, have kind of disintegrated in a little way because they see the bitches, what they think getting ahead, which they're not really. That's what I'm saying. But have you seen that women? Have you seen women that you respected act crazy, and you're like, wait a minute, you're not built like that. Why you disappointed me right now?
I think they're frustrated because of a temporary gain that they see. It's temporary. Like I know some people who've been dating superstars, like I'm talking about super rich guys, and they get allowances from them. And then as soon as they break up with them, you're like, damn, you don't have nothing. You didn't save up none of that. Because you gotta understand, this is a temporary. If I give you something, but if somebody empowers you, and I give you a career. If you say my girl was a photographer, and I gave her $50,000, you know what she did? She went and bought photography equipment and rented a studio, and now she has her own company. That's empowering her. That's not saying, hey, go buy you some Louboutins. Yeah. That's saying she wanted to be something.
And would she be your girl if she went and bought the Louboutins? Would she have been your girl?
The thing about it, I would have still got him those things because she's a quality person. She's a great person. And maybe if she wasn't as driven, maybe I was supposed to be there to help her become driven. But that's because I had a certain level of respect and attraction for her mentally outside of her physical. And then she's a great person. Yeah. But a lot of times, women aren't taught that. And we all have to be taught. I feel like a man is a leader. So I cannot fault a woman for doing those things and being a gold digger. I have to fault a man for presenting her with that as the only option.
So let's jump into that, because I want to take some tracks now from the Discreet Luxury EP, 2013, last year. Speaking of strippers, there was a song called Strip Club.
Yep.
And one of the lyrics was, wish I could turn my hotel into a strip club. Now, if a man was to get into a relationship with a stripper, what kind of qualities as a woman, I guess?
A woman is a woman. I feel like our circumstances don't make us. I feel like a stripper should be held in the same regard as a drug dealer. So you understand, like, you're doing something, and even a stripper is legal at least. I feel like people frown upon this thing, and honestly,
I don't even know if they frown upon it that much anymore.
They glorify it in a way that isn't honorable though. don't get it twisted. Just because they have this star status right now because of the records and the music that's made, they're not really smiled upon. It's really like a, you know, like we really don't truly respect what you do. You are like a hood celebrity, but at the end of the day, people overall would say, I wouldn't date her, I wouldn't marry her, I wouldn't do this, and that. And it's like a sad thing. But what I want to say is, they're women, and some people go down different paths, but that's not what they ultimately have to become. So when you say what type of stripper she got to be, I don't know how to answer that. I know what type of woman a person got to be, and I know how to love somebody.
Have you been in a relationship with a stripper?
My first girlfriend that I ever had, she danced, and she was one of the realest chicks I ever met in my life.
That's great. All right, so the next question is from Champagne, the song. Champagne is my Viagra. Do you prefer sex sober or under the influence?
Under the influence.
He said that straight away.
Yeah, man. I mean, I really appreciate both, you know, but I feel like...
I was going to say, which do you recommend?
You get rid of your inhibitions when you just lit, you know, so... Yeah, I prefer it that way.
All right, so we're going to go to They Don't Know, which was a huge hit for you. You stay patient, and I respect that because you know how to play your post. All right. How long should a side chick or a side dude play the side? Should they tap out, if ever? Like, how long what is the duration of that role?
All right. First of all, They Don't Know was not about a side chick. It was a metaphor. But I want to answer that question for you. But I feel like in a side chick and a side guy relationship,
we need the Dr. Love relationship advice.
As soon as you feel like you've had enough and you don't feel like it's worth you sticking around, you should leave. Period. You stop enjoying yourself and stop feeling good, because at the end of the day, sometimes the thrill of the rush of the sneakiness and this side thing, and you just love the fact that you get a little bit of this person's time. But as soon as the love leaves, as soon as it stops being, you know, it starts becoming more complicated than it is convenient.
The bad outweighs the good.
The bad outweighs the good. You should move on.
So would you ever, if you found out that a woman that you were with in a serious relationship had someone on the side, when you found out, do you know how you would handle that at this point, or would you have to be in the situation?
Yeah, I keep it moving, because as a man, I feel like a lot of times men, we are in the power positions. We are more so in a power role than women are. Not just because I'm just saying
most of us.
I'm
not gonna punch you. I'm listening.
That's the way life is. You know, right now.
I'm listening. I know I'm boss lady, but I can listen.
Statistically, you know, the man is usually the provider. So if you providing for somebody and they got somebody on the side, you gotta keep it moving.
Definitely.
I think it's easier for a woman to stay, because I feel like a woman can't have sex with somebody without a certain level of feelings involved. So if your girl cheats on you, she's feeling homeboy. Now if she's a hoe and she fucks everybody, then you need to fuck with her anyway, so you should leave it both ways. So, but if you find out your girl, your woman who you love, took that step to sleep with another person, you lost her.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's not your woman no more. Because a woman won't sleep with somebody when she got somebody unless she's over that person. So, you know, you do her a favor and you keep it moving, because she's too afraid to leave you.
Yeah. Oof.
Leave her for you.
Okay.
Leave her.
I definitely will give you that
fellas.
one. All right. So we're gonna wrap up the Dr. Love segment with "Bitches Be Like." Okay. The lyric is, you ain't from DC, but you had the Million Man March up inside of you. And judge a woman on the amount of men she's been with before him.
I don't feel like we should judge anybody on anything. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not into judging. And that's why I even say in the song, I ain't judging.
Do you want to know a woman's body count before you enter a relationship with her?
I don't know about body count, but if I'm in the music business, and I would like to know who else in the business, if you've been with anybody else in the business.
Yeah, that's realistic.
Because at the end of the day, I would never want to be walking around and everybody in the room is laughing and I don't know what's so funny. But I'd rather be able to say, yeah, I know homeboy used to fuck with my shorty, she my shorty now, what y'all want to do? Well, I could point out your girl, I know a bunch of niggas she smashed too, let's talk about that.
You feel the same still?
I feel like, I just would want to know if there's anybody I know. You know what I mean? And obviously, me personally, I don't feel like I would want to deal with somebody who slept with 1,000 people. But if that's the case, if I fall in love with that person, you just can't help who you fall in love with.
That's true.
At the end of the day, if you want to be honest with you.
Rico Love, thank you for your honesty.
Thank you,
and all of your amazing, incredible contributions to music. This is just the beginning. You're still a young buck, so I know there's huge things on the way. I Sin is out right now.
Right now, thatpiff.com.
Yes.
Follow me at I Am Rico Love.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me.
So
I pray that the show does very well.
Thank you.
I don't even want to say hopefully. I'm just going to say it's going to do well.
Thank
you guys are going to have a great run with this.
We appreciate And you're welcome back
Yeah.
anytime. As you know, hopefully we get bigger and bigger, and
Absolutely.
you stick with us. Work.
Yeah, when I say if he invite, that's true. If I invite you on a shopping spree and I don't get you anything, then I'm pretty much being a dickhead, right? This is pretty selfish. I don't think that you should invite anybody to somewhere unless you're gonna offer it to them. If I say, hey, let's go to dinner, right? And then I don't pay for you to eat.
Oh no, yeah.
Let me get my. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, I feel like if in certain instances
you think is maybe the best way to go. So let's start off with the latest single, He Got Money, featuring Future. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, but the lyric is, if he said it, you know he ain't lying, and if he invite you, you know that he buying. Okay? My question to you is, does every girl you talk to, kick it with, automatically get gifts? How does that work? I wanted to do something with you called Dr. Love, because I feel like you say some very deep things like we talked about. You observe a lot of what's going on in our culture on a very realistic level. And I think some people need some help, including myself and maybe DJ Steele. So we're about to go. It's called Dr. Love. I'm going to take some of your lyrics and then I'm going to ask you a question about it. And I want you to give some advice from the heart on what
you don't give everyone gifts, but you also wouldn't invite that person to a shopping spree unless you were gonna get them something. So I feel like you gotta earn that privilege, and I feel like we gotta start making people requiring more women than just being beautiful to receive gifts from us, because at the end of the day, there's so many of them that's beautiful, and if they realize that it took a little bit more substance to get something as a
international affair with Boss Lady, my guy DJ Steele, and our very special guest Rico Love, celebrating the release of I Sin, out right now exclusively on thatpiff.com for free. Solid body of work. I've been listening to your music, Rico, non-stop in preparation for today, and